I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Vita and Chip and Gulpy.
So earlier we talked about Slipknot and Stone Sour. Mm-hmm. And Stone Sour is actually the band that turned me off of Slipknot.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Yeah, this song right here was like this big breakout hit, blah, blah, blah.
And this is the one that you said, all right, I'm done now.
Yeah, and I never even paid attention to the song. There was a chorus, you don't need, and then the way everything started out and everything, and then he came out without his mask and everything. It was just, ugh. So I refused to listen to this song.
You're so intense. All right.
But it was impossible because it was such a huge song. We'd be watching, Jay Leno or Conan O'Brien or whatever, and there he was, without his mask or whatever. And of course, my girl at the time was like a major Slipknot fan. But she was kind of like, because he had his mask off, and he was singing, and he was hitting notes, and he wasn't yelling, and he wasn't angry. And this is the same dude.
Not okay.
This is the same dude that did the song we just heard earlier. So
okay.
This song is the reason I stopped listening to Slipknot. Of course, I'm a lot more mature.
You're more able to accept the multifaceted nature.
Well, I'm a lot more well-rounded,
yep.
and I have a lot more facets to myself than I was at the time. At the time, I had a very, very specific kind of mindset, which I had to have at the time, but I had a very specific type of mindset, and this did not fit it. So that was that.
All right.
All right.
Don't forget, if you want to know the sex of the baby, check out My Story Life. And if you want political stuff, Firesides, that's his channel, Middle America with Vin and Sori. Ready?
Go!
Go.
Wish I was too dead to cry. A self-affliction fades. Stones to throw at my creator. Masochists to which I cater. You don't need to bother. I don't need to breathe. I'll keep slipping farther. But once I hold on, I won't let go till it bleeds. Wish I was too dead to care, if indeed I cared at all. Never had a voice to protest, so you fed me shit to digest. I wish I had a reason, my flaws are open season. For this I gave up trying, one good turn deserves my dying. You don't need to bother, I don't need to be. I'll keep slipping farther, but once I hold on, I won't let go till it bleeds. Wish I died instead of lived. A zombie hides my face, shell forgotten with its memories. Dire is left with cryptic entries, and you don't need to bother. I don't need to be. I don't need to be.
don't understand that last line. It seemed to me that the song was about, like, maybe, like, people wanting him to be a certain thing or him, like, trying to... But he says, you don't need to bother. I don't need to be. I'll keep slipping farther. But once I hold on, I won't let go till it bleeds. Almost like whatever he decides that he's going to be or whatever he decides that he's going to do, like, he's going on 10. Like, it doesn't matter, like, if he's bleeding, he's staying there. That's what he's decided. But then when at the end, it said the deceit thing, that I was like, what?
In verse 2, he says, my flaws are open season. For this I gave up trying. One good turn deserves my dying. So
In
he
other
did
words,
something.
you make one mistake and then you might as well be dead.
He got the death penalty for it.
And people are like that.
And then you're like that.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Talk about people are like that. And once I hold on, I'll never live down my deceit. So
Yeah, I don't get that.
probably did something to his girl, you know. Probably did something bad, one good turn, and then he lied to her, you know, and that's that. Now it's a little bit different.
What do you mean? About what the song's about?
Well, I'm saying, like, that's kind of your line, right?
What?
Like, let's say he did something
Cheating?
with some girl on tour and then he lied about it.
Yeah, that's
Khalas, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, so don't say people are like that.
no. Like I didn't realize.
You're
that
like
anything-
that.
I am like that for sure.
For sure.
Unapologetically like that.
I didn't say you were bad.
Don't cross me on that.
I didn't say you were bad for that.
But I didn't see that that's what it was about. I just thought it was just people wanting him to be a certain thing.
Well, I don't know, but verse 2 where he says, my flaws are open season, for this I gave up trying, one good turn deserves my dying, and then you combine it with I'll never live down my deceit.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
He must have betrayed somebody or in a moment of weakness did something, and then, you know, that's being held against him.
Verse 2 says, wish I was too dead to care, if indeed I cared at all. Never had a voice to protest, so you fed me shit to digest. And I wish I had a reason my flaws are open season. I don't know, like, this fits so perfectly, like, in my opinion, with, like, you know, past events, like, you know what I'm talking about?
What, in your life?
Yeah, well, yours too, but I wasn't thinking about you. I was thinking, because I don't know how you don't internalize things the way that I do.
No.
You know, you're just like, oh, you chalk everything up to human nature. And I'm not like that. I'm like, you were supposed to be my friend. And then you did that. But, like, never had a voice to protest, stuff like that. Like, all of that stuff kind of, like, fit in. One good turn deserves my dying. I just felt like that. You know what I mean? Like, just felt like the world. It wasn't the world, but it felt like the entire world turned on me. And, like, I gave up a lot for those people. You know what I mean? And then, so it hurt when people turned like that. So for me, the song was like that. It was like kind of like that context.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a relationship, as in male-female relationship.
Yeah, I think people have a very, very hard time with the reality about how quick people can flip on people.
Yeah.
People have a really difficult time with that. So
You just expect it?
well, yeah, I mean, you know.
I don't want to be jealous of you or feel bad for you, to be honest with you.
I don't know, feel bad for Jesus. In John chapter 2, he didn't trust himself to anyone because he knew it was in man. So,
Yeah.
and that's really the basis for it for me. It's like, and it doesn't mean that the people are bad. It just means that that's human nature. You know, it's very rare that you're going to have somebody who truly accepts you for all your flaws. Like you said, you have lines. It's very, very rare to have somebody that, like, completely accepts you for all your flaws and will be cool with you lying to them and da 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 da. Like, you know, if the interesting thing, and this is not a criticism per se, but if Corey was on the other end of this song, if Corey was the one where somebody betrayed his trust and then lied to him, he would make a song about it, and then you'd be like, oh yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it just depends on what side of the street the artist is particularly on at the given time. And, you know, you don't need to bother. I don't need to be. I'll keep slipping farther. That's kind of course, to me, of course, I will say, I you know, my other relationship, when that person says you don't need to bother, she's dead ass serious. It's not manipulative. It's not come help me. It's not like that. Like, she's serious. It's not a cry for attention. It's not. I mean, there's been a lot of people in my life where they'll say, "Oh, you don't need to bother," and it's just really like they'll say that and then they'll look back. You know what I mean?
I'm like that. I'm like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Not this. The other person's not like that. The other person, she says that they're dead ass serious. There's no. It's not. You know. And I don't think he's there. I think that's more of that.
No, because he said, "I wish I was too dead to cry."
Yeah. So he wants her to bother, or him, or whoever. I think he wants the person to bother and care about it. Mm-hmm. But I know people in my life where that's not the case. They're not like that at all.
I can't even fathom that.
Yeah.
Her and I are so different. It's like,
huh?
I said, her and I are so different. I can't even, some of the stuff I literally can't process because it's just.
That's why I have such a hard time pivoting. Because I've been one way for a decade and a half.
Yeah.
But you're pretty much a traditional woman. Sorry, Jen. And you know, she's you know, a lot of her philosophy came from, you know, her mom, who was a hardened Bronxite and who ended up saying this, and I don't need to be, and she's not anymore.
Right.
So, you know, it's very, very. Of course, when I was around them and you're around them, you just begin to think that, and I'm like that. I wouldn't even tell you not to bother. That would be it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like.
Yeah, even when you say, no, don't worry about it. I am worried about it. I do want to do whatever it is
right.
that needs to be done. And even when you say, don't worry about it, I don't believe that that's what you actually mean, because I'm not like that.
Right. But then I don't talk about it, and you're like, how come you didn't talk to me about it? I'm like, I told you.
Don't worry about it. And I'm like, well, I am worried about it.
Yeah, so it's extremely difficult for me to pivot, because I'm like that, and the other person was like that.
Yeah.
My mom was like that. And, you know, my mom wasn't like that. My mom was like, oh, don't bother with it.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's, you know. She wanted the attention and stuff, and she you know, but not the other one. But you want the attention. It's
kind of weird. It's not that I want the attention. It's that I want to know that you actually do want to do whatever it is that needs to be done.
Right.
And I don't know that you do. And if you don't, then I don't want you.
Right.
Honestly, if you don't want to do it, I genuinely don't want you to help me with it.
Right. But I do want to do it, but I'm having a hard time, because the other one was when she wanted help, she'd say, I want help. And the other one, she didn't want help, she'd say, back off. I'd say, okay. And then.
Well, I don't like asking for help, and so when I have to ask for help,
but
and then I have to ask again.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't even ask for help. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Nothing!
Yeah,
you know?
But that's because sometimes it's just, to talk through something is just.
Yeah. No,
I feel so confused about myself sometimes that I'm like, how can I even talk through this? This is not going to go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. But this one seems to be like I'll keep slipping further. It's okay. Leave me alone. But, you know, I don't really think he really wants it in that situation. Like,
yeah.
To be left alone or whatever. Especially considering he names the song Bother.
Yeah.
I think you're right, though. Once I hold on, I won't let go till it bleeds.
Like, once he turns that corner, like.
He could go either way.
Yeah.
If you bother with him, then he's gonna hold on to you for dear life. If you don't, then he's going to do the other thing, and until it bleeds, it's probably. You know what's interesting about this song?
I'm going to bleed or you're going to bleed. Pick one.
Right.
What's interesting?
So, we were in another city, me and my ex, and we used to, this guy, we used to hang out with this dude. His name was Justin, and his dad used to drive a cab.
Uh-huh.
So, I'm in the cab with Justin's dad, and we started hanging out with him or whatever, and I guess he was saying that we were a good influence on this kid. On this kid, yeah. And
kid must have been pretty bad off.
And he said, well, this song came on. I'm like, yo, turn this. And he's like, yeah, I don't really understand this stuff you kids listen to, but ever since Justin started hanging out with you and listening to the song, he stopped doing that, you know, cutting thing.
Oh.
The kid used to cut himself a lot.
Yeah.
But I guess hanging out with us and then hearing this song, like, he stopped for a while. So.
Oh. Oh, that's interesting.
I'm sure the song was very therapeutic to people. I was just didn't want to listen to it on principle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I forgot who it was. She said this very interesting line that they were married for like 25, 30 years and they were getting a divorce, and it kind of came out of nowhere, but it wasn't out of nowhere. But she said something to the effect of, well, you know, she said something like we have the right to choose our stressors or something like that.
Yeah.
And she was basically saying, I hit my limit.
Yeah.
You know, and I think
it's too much stress for me.
I think in relationships sometimes, you know, diaries left with cryptic entries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like that's one of the things. Like, you know, as like teenager, Dr. Petzel used to tell me in the hospital that teenagers, they used to write stuff and then leave their diaries out so that you could find it and say, why were you looking at my diary, Mom? You know, and then, but it's really a cry for help, you know. So,
really?
Oh yeah, very, very common thing. You'd have a diary and then you'd leave it out, you know, whatever, and then your parents will go through it and then they
Oh my
find.
word! I would never catch something like that because I literally, even when I was suicidal, I wanted to write about it, but I didn't want anybody reading it.
Well, yeah, but well, yeah.
So I would never read our kids' diaries.
What? Oh yeah, if they left them out, I'd absolutely read it. For sure.
My mom always, like, she never read, and she always told me, like, I'll never read your journal. If you want me to read it, bring it to me, but I'll never. And like, I really respected the fact that she respected my privacy. My dad, he said, if you leave that out, I'm reading it, so don't leave it out here. I'm gonna sit down with a box of cookies, I'm gonna read it. Thought to myself, you won't be eating those cookies if you read my journal. That's such an upset stomach, worried, realizing where I was actually.
Well, yeah, but you were ready to do some shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So you weren't looking for a cry for help or anything.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So if the person does leave it out, I mean, if you really don't want it out there, it won't be out there.
No, I used to leave my journal out, not on purpose. I was just in the living room writing because it was more comfortable than in my room, and then I would forget it there.
Yeah.
I didn't want people reading it.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have been so mad if my dad would have read it. If he ever read it, I never knew.
Yeah, but were you saying that you were planning on doing stuff to yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if he would have said, what the hell is this? You'd have been mad at him, but it's probably an important conversation.
No, I probably would have just gone and done it.
Yeah. I don't think
Because
so.
it would have turned into a big fight. It wouldn't have been a calm discussion.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Most of the time it doesn't end up that way, though. The person doesn't do it once the journal is discovered.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I never heard of that before. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
It makes sense when you're saying it, like...
It's a very, very common thing, Dr. Petzel.
Okay, sorry, so I totally hijacked
No,
it. So what were you saying about it?
Nothing to, no, I'm just saying diaries left with cryptic entries. It's, you know, they're all little, you know, breadcrumbs to
See,
say we need some serious help here.
I used to write in my journal, sometimes cryptically, that nobody would have really known what it meant until if I did kill myself,
Right.
then they would have been like, oh my word. Like,
Right.
before, they wouldn't have known what it meant,
Right.
you know, but afterwards, they would.
Right, but there was some pretty explicit stuff in there too about
There was extremely explicit stuff in there.
hurting yourself too, though.
Yeah, there was both.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So what are you saying? Like, if one of our kids had something like that, you wouldn't read it so that you could respect their privacy?
Well, I say that, but I did read one of theirs, remember?
Yeah.
I said, that's it, I'm reading this.
Okay.
I gotta know where he's at.
All right. Well, there you go.
But I didn't feel right about it. I felt like I was...
Yeah. I mean, it depends on your motive. Me, my motive would be my background in that stuff, and what had happened was I had written a song for the band that I was in for 2 hours, and I had left it with my guys.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want my stuff, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And when I was going to the hospital or whatever, they picked up my stuff or whatever, and my journal was in one of them. So she was saying how the concern about the lyrics were because because I didn't leave it out, I took specific I took specific steps to make sure. I took specific steps to make sure it wasn't even
I
in
see
the
what
house.
you're saying.
So she was saying, look, the reason we're taking, she basically said, look, if this was like out
Right.
and
I
it was
see.
found,
Okay,
then
now that makes
I
sense.
could tell your parents, look, this is just, whatever. But because you took these very, very specific steps
To keep
to
it
not
hidden.
have it there, now it's a problem.
Right. No, that makes sense. Okay.
So that's why to me it's like they're smart enough. If they really don't want us to see it, we won't.
Right.
Right? So anyway, what do you give the song?
Ooh. That's a tough one. It's high. It's really high for me. I really liked it. I don't know if it's 10 worthy. What are you giving it? Sway me, babe.
I would actually put this song as probably a 10 in the sense of, well, this was 2002, it's 2018 right now,
Yeah.
so that's what, 16 years ago? God, that's crazy. In the sense that you could release a song right now and it would be translated. This is not a dated song at all.
No.
This is
No, not at all.
You can wait another 20 years and release it, and it would be an amazing song. So for that, I'd say it's a 10. The longevity aspect. There are different types of 10s. They're like no doubter 10s, and then there's I could listen to this song for quite some time, and it
Oh yeah, me too.
it doesn't stay fresh. Like it's not a song I could listen to like 15 times in a row. Like the Disarm song from Smashing Pumpkins, I could listen to that song 15 times in a row.
I could do this one a couple times in a row though.
But I think for the longevity aspect, this is actually a 10 to me.
It's a good thinking song.
Yeah, for sure. And I like the subtlety of changing the last line, because you expect it to be one thing.
Yeah, that's
I won't let it go till it
what?
bleeds, and then it talks about his deceit. I think that's good.
Yeah, that surprised me.
And then, of course, the whole stones to throw at my creator thing, which is a very, very interesting angle.
Oh, I liked it when he sang that part.
So that's interesting. Corey always had a thing with his dad.
Yeah.
Like in the first record, there were a couple of songs where he was talking about his dad and stuff like that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be God, but of course, it's probably both. Anyway, so 10 for me. What is it for you?
Yeah, I just thought he was blaming God for the situation he was in. I'm gonna go with a 10.
Oh.
But I don't think I'm gonna go with a 10 because of what you said, the longevity. I think that gives it some of its points, but a lot of its points are coming just because I really like the song. Anyway.
Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.